It's been a successful homestand so far for the green and gold. First, it was 2-3 from the always dangerous New York Yankees. Then the Texas Rangers came to town, and the Athletics did the same, taking 2 out of 3, creating some separation from them in the standings. But it doesn't get any easier as the defending world champion Boston Red Sox come to town. The A's had a rough time in Boston last month, only winning 1 in front of the Fenway faithful, as the Athletics would love to return the favor as they open up a 4-game set at the Coliseum. It's Game 1, A's Red Sox, next. An early start to a big weekend of baseball at the O.Co Coliseum with Dustin Pedroia and the Boston Red Sox in town. Your pitching matchup tonight is Jake Peavy for Boston, and he will be opposed by Scott Kazmir for the Athletics. So, reigning world champions in town. It's the Red Sox and the Athletics. Game 1 coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Scott Kazmir knows all about pitching in the American League East. He was with the Rays for a long time, and his last 2 starts, Ray, have been against teams from the East, and he's been great, so he's not going to be intimidated by the Red Sox.
No, absolutely not. The one thing they are seeing, the other teams, and the Red Sox will see tonight, is a different type of pitcher, because the one thing about Scott Kazmir, look at his great numbers. He's won 8 games. Pitching against the Orioles was outstanding. Against the Yankees was outstanding. But he has become a pitcher. We continue to talk about that, but we're seeing it firsthand. The fact that he uses all kinds of pitches, even changeups to left-handers. Changeup is outstanding, especially right-handers like that. Kind of a Bugs Bunny changeup that it floats in, hitters cannot make contact. He's been an outstanding pitcher. He still has a fastball when he needs it, but not the 98 that he used with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Try to figure out the Red Sox. They just swept the Twins at home. That's the good news, but they've been an incredibly streaky team this year, some good and some bad.
I think they just want to stay close. This is what happened yesterday. First time, how about a home run by David Ortiz in the 10th inning? Red Sox were down by a run, and then Mike Napoli followed him with a walk-off to center field. This is something. 2 runs, 2 home runs. They win in extra innings by a score of 2-1. 5 runs in a 3-game sweep. They're still a good ball club. They are a veteran club. They have a very good manager in John Farrell, a good pitching staff. I think the A's are going to see that. Let's just hope the streaking part is on the reverse side for the next 4 games.
Yeah, the Red Sox come in 4 games under the 500 mark. The A's, of course, sitting on the best record in Major League Baseball. So it's going to be a great weekend of baseball, and it starts early on a Thursday night. Game 1 of a 4-game series. It's the Oakland A's and the Boston Red Sox coming up.
California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Head to Jack in the Box for the new Jalapeno Ranch or Barbecue Ultimate Cheeseburgers at participating restaurants. And by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
First of 4, the A's and the Red Sox. The world champions from last year against the team with the best record in baseball this year. So it should be a fun weekend. Game time weather for tonight is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 64 degrees, a little cooler tonight. As you can see, the flag's whipping around a little bit, so it's a little breezy. And the Red Sox in town for a 4-game series. Let's look at the lineup tonight for Boston. Brock Holt will lead off in right field. Xander Bogaerts at third, Dustin Pedroia at second, Napoli at first, Brzezinski will DH. No David Ortiz tonight. Johnny Gomes is in left, Stephen Drew at short. David Ross will catch, and Jackie Bradley Jr. is the center fielder.
Scott Kazmir on the season. He's won 8. He's 8-8 against the Red Sox. As Scott mentioned earlier, he has pitched a lot against the Red Sox and the teams in the Eastern Division. Red Sox being one of those. It is at the Rays, but he has been outstanding for the Athletics as he continues to be a pitcher, and he likes run supports if the A's can do that tonight against the Sox.
So Brock Holt steps in. And the first pitch is in for a strike. So we're underway from the O.co Coliseum.
First pitch, number 07.
Kazmir looking for his 9th win of the year. Brings the second best ERA in the American League into tonight's game.
Rather change up second pitch of the game to a left-hander. Holt out in front. Did not see Holt when his A's saw the Red Sox earlier in the season. Shane Victorino again having some problems. Due to come back soon.
2-pitch, slap foul. Tanaka is the only guy with a better ERA in the American League than Scott Kazmir. Remember against the Yankees, Ray, the Yankees put 5 left-handed hitters in the lineup.
Right.
Think there's anything to the Red Sox having 4 left-handed hitters in there? Or are those guys? I mean, Drew's going to play no matter what. Brzezinski's DHing. It's not him, it'll be Ortiz. Strike 3, no.
Wow.
Looked like a good pitch. That's what I get for being an umpire.
Well, that's because he should have been called a strike. Lefties hitting higher, almost 100 points higher, 90 as a matter of fact, against him.
And he chases that one in the dirt, and the out is recorded at first, and that's the first out of the ballgame. So a strikeout for Kazmir. A's defense tonight has Cespedes, Crisp, and Vogt in the outfield. Donaldson, Lowry, Callaspo, Moss on the infield. And Norris is the catcher.
I think the point is because the home plate umpire, and wondering about that DVD is going to get after the game. Did he miss one? But I think what teams will do, they'll watch how lefties face or do against Scott Kazmir, and of course his changeup is tremendous and excellent. And those numbers, the splits against righties versus lefties, they will pay attention to that. And if they have lefties to put in, they may.
When that started in New York, I mean, lefties, righties, or whatever, Kazmir still went 6 innings and gave up just, or not in New York, here against the Yankees. He gave up just 1 unearned run. He only gave up 3 hits. So at least in that start, if the theory was, hey, put some more lefties in there, take away his changeup some, I don't know that that was really successful against Kazmir, what the Yankees did.
A good pitcher is going to make adjustments, and I think when Scott Kazmir threw the changeup to Nick Markakis in Baltimore, lefty on lefty, said that. That's pretty good manager John Farrell, former pitching coach, and in the Cleveland Indians organization in the front office and baseball operations. Traded for a player, huh? That's right. Distinction of Chuck Tanner, I think, going back to '76. Try to think of there was one other. Lou Piniella was traded for
Randy Wynn was traded,
right? Right. And then John Farrell acquired from the Toronto Blue Jays, or at least took over the Red Sox. He still had a year left.
Down the right field line, and Vogt slides, and he caught it. What a play by Stephen Vogt. Not only do you have to catch it, but you got two of your teammates coming right at you as well.
And he had to be thinking, Callaspo, it's a better shot for him. Long run, and all of a sudden Vogt said, oops, I better hurry. And but get out of the way. Brandon Moss had to jump over him. And what a play by Stephen Vogt. He's got to be thinking, catching, I don't have to run this far. But in right field, he's played very well, and a tremendous play and a basket catch going to the slide, avoiding a knee in the head by Brandon Moss. And all foul territory here really didn't matter because that was just barely foul. Catch your breath, big guy.
So 2 outs, and here's Pedroia.
That made me tired just watching him run that far.
Handle it was. Yeah. That's what Vogt's looking up into. Pedroia hitting .263 with 3 homers, 25 RBIs. Some of the numbers down a little bit this year for Pedroia. And now it's 1-2. The Red Sox are 34 and 38, and they are in 4th place, 6.5 games back of the Toronto Blue Jays. The Yankees are leading the Blue Jays right now 5-2, so the Yankees make it a little move. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So a good inning with a couple of strikeouts for Scott Kazmir. Bottom of the 1st, coming up. This is the lineup that Peavy will see. Crisp, Jaso Cespedes, Moss, Donaldson, Lowry, Norris, Vogt, and Callaspo.
Jake Peavy, the right-hander, and all he has to do is think back a couple of years ago and the way he pitched against the Athletics with the White Sox. A's don't want to think about it. He probably will remember it. But a veteran, and he is making his 15th start. Look at his record, 1-4. As he said, can't get a decision.
Yeah, he's the king of the no decision.
King of the no decision. And remember Tim Hudson pitched for the A's a while back. He had one of those years, but Jake Peavy's a veteran, knows how to pitch. That man knows how to play second. Dustin Pedroia.
So Peavy, the 33-year-old right-hander, is set to face the Athletics. He kicks in his first pitch to Coco Crisp. He is down and in. So second lowest run support in the American League for Peavy. Another reason why he's 1-4. His only win was at Toronto on April 25th. So he's closing in on 2 months without a victory. Yeah. He's gone 9 starts without a win, and again, he only has 1 win this year. So I got to believe it's been a frustrating season for Jake Peavy. Of those where he has not pitched as well as he would like, and when he does pitch well, he's not getting a lot to show for it. So the 9 starts since his only win, an ERA at 5.5. pitches in for a strike. Peavy is in his 12th year in the big leagues. He has 133 career wins, and he has a Cy Young award on his mantle. He did that with the Padres in 2007. Bunted nicely. Peavy has it, and there's going to be no play. Beautiful bunt by Coco Crisp, and he's aboard.
Amazing thing, Peavy almost read that and got off the mound so quickly. And I'm surprised, of course, it was a great bunt, and that's the reason Coco made it easily, but that was tremendous.
Here's the defense for the Red Sox. Gomes, Bradley Jr., and Holt. And then in the infield, it's Bogarts, Drew, Pedroia, and Napoli with Ross catching.
Well, you watch Peavy, as soon as he threw it, he got off the mound. It's just that Coco deadened it at the plate, and when Peavy got to the line, very wisely did not throw. A lot of times 3-1, the last thing you figure a hitter's going to do is bunt, but after the one pitch was called a strike, 3-1, Coco laid out a perfect bunt.
And Coco gets a good jump. Throw to second base is not nearly in time, and Coco with a steal. Did not wait around.
Well, and Peavy hardly looked at him. That's why it made it tough for Ross, the catcher. David Ross, the veteran, and got rid of it quickly. But Coco, what a tremendous jump. Head down, straight steal all the way. Watch the quickness of Ross, but he had no chance. And quick throw, bounced it. Drew caught it on one knee, made it close, even though it really wasn't that close with the jump Coco got. As many catchers will say, you get rid of it as quickly as possible. It depends on the infielders to make the play. And the ball did bounce, and Drew is back with a familiar number 7.
Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. Expo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. 6 for 9 this year, base stealers against Peavy, and for Coco Crisp, that was his 13th. He's only been thrown out twice. The A's as a team are now 41 for 49 in steal attempts, and that's the best percentage in the American League.
Well, we've seen Coco Crisp, when he's got to second base, he'll give the hitter a chance to move him himself versus maybe trying to steal. But right now, it's got to be tempting for Coco. Get a pretty good lead off second base, but Jaso trying to pull the ball at least.
Reaches for that one, and it stays 1-2. Jaso 271 with 6 homers, 22 RBIs. I love how they hang out. Isn't that funny? See, I was wondering, let's say in that grouping right there, let's say Jesse Chavez just decides I'm going to go sit with the hitters.
Yeah.
I mean, the other is going to be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing over there?
Well, it's funny.
Get over here. Like, let's say he slides in next to Kyle Blanks.
He'd get up and go, hey, beef.
What are you doing? Jaso lays off that high pitch, 2-2 to count.
You see, we've seen pitchers at time will kind of get close to Chili Davis and talk hitting with Chili, because pitchers might want to pick Chili's brain and say, well, you know, what are you looking for in this situation? What's John Jaso looking for? 3-2. Chili knows what he's going to get. Can't tell him no. And that's why Ross is going to talk to him.
Cespedes waiting in the on-deck circle.
Fundamental baseball, John Jaso trying to accomplish that in this at-bat. He has fouled off a couple of tough pitches already.
That one rolled toward Ty Waller, but picked up by Mike Napoli. And the count stays 2-2.
It might even been out of the strike zone, at least to the outside part of the plate. And what they're doing, they being Ross and Peavy, trying to pitch Jaso outside to prevent him from pulling the ball. But what a job he's done already, getting the top hand and at least trying to move the ball to the right side.
inside, and now full count.
Great take.
Drew inching in behind Coco just to try to keep him close, and that one is inside to Jaso, and Jaso with a pretty good at bat. He gets the walk. So 2 on, nobody out, and here comes Cespedes.
Number 52, your winner, Cespedes.
So one guy waves the flag, the other 2 guys dance. That's the way it works.
Well, you got it all figured out, man. You're on the top of your game.
I can see them up there. They're right out there in left field. First pitch to Cespedes is a strike on the outside corner. So Phil Cuzzy even called Pedroia out on a pitch that was on the outside corner and maybe even off the plate. That one looked like it could have been off the plate a little bit. So maybe the little bit of a wide strike zone. We'll see if it stays that way.
But go back to Scott Kazmir against Hope, the leadoff hitter. And that was a left-handed pitcher, left-handed hitter. These are right to right with Cuzzy calling the pitch in the outside part of the plate. So maybe he sets up differently. He's a young man fighting the sun in right field. But he's a great center field, so his right field play is perfect for Fenway Park.
0-2 pitch is hit high to center field where Jackie Bradley is under it. Bradley has it. And he shows off his arm a little bit after Coco bluffed. So 1 away. Cespedes is retired, and then he'll bring up Moss. So he's don't want to let this one get away here in the first inning.
Number 37, Brandon Moss.
Start Jake Peavy had a couple years ago 15 fly ball outs when he pitched for the White Sox, 7 on the ground. So that's not surprising that fly ball by Cespedes, just something about how he changes speeds, locates movement on his fastball.
Broken bat line drive right into the glove of Stephen Drew, who steps on second base, and that's a double play. So the A's had 2 on, nobody out, do not score, and we are scoreless after 1.
Here's to the green and gold. The Athletics.
Time now for the Nissan keys to the game. Which streaky Sox will the A's see? They've won 3 in a row, the sweep of the Minnesota Twins. And for Scott Kazmir, we've talked about him and his all-star possibilities. Well, the push is on, I guess, but several starts before the Midsummer Classic. He just wants to keep winning. He joined the club, a 2-year contract after pitching last year in Cleveland. Just happened to be in the green and gold.
Facing Mike Napoli, who was the hero yesterday for the Red Sox at Fenway Park. Quite a ball game yesterday. Red Sox were down 1-0 going to the bottom of the 10th inning. And Ortiz homered, and then Napoli homered, and that was the ball game. They had 1 hit through the first 9 innings, so the home runs were hits 2 and 3, and they won. This time, though, for Napoli as he strikes out, it's quite a day at Fenway.
Well, pesky pull down the right field line. David Ortiz hooked it around it. That would tie the game at 1-1 in the 10th. And David did that, and Napoli did this. They cover the center field, the batter's eye in center field. Fans are not allowed to sit there, so they put the black tarp. I guess Napoli saw it quite well because he hit it into the tarp.
That one hit toward right center. Vogt on the move. Vogt on the move. He cannot quite get it. Brzezinski's going to take a big turn, and then he's going to have to hustle back. And he probably did the right thing by turning around and going back to first. So a long single for Brzezinski.
Well, not only did Stephen Vogt cut the ball off, he is getting some running in all the way to foul territory in right center. He did a tremendous job by keeping what probably should have been a double. Brzezinski does not run fast. Vogt running to cut the ball off and able to make, watch this throw, perfect into second base, 1 hop. Brzezinski would have been out by 10 feet. Thinking 2 all the way and shut it down right there. Smart move. It would have been out. See if the A's can get a double play after keeping him at first.
Here's Johnny Gomes. Gomes hitting .235 with 5 home runs and 25 RBIs.
An outfielder, you make a play like that, you're saying, I don't care who's up, just try to get a double play, because it's a great effort to keep Brzezinski at first. And Johnny Gomes, a huge influence on this club last year. He won the World Championship. Not surprised, a bunch of kids and people from Petaluma down watching batting practice. Johnny Gomes, of course, entertaining all of them, his hometown.
One pitch is a fastball up and away. Well, Johnny Gomes signed a 2-year contract going into last year, so he'll be a free agent at the end of this year. Interesting to see what Johnny Gomes decides to do. He's 33 years old. He'll be 34 in November.
And the word is, Kai, but I thought it was interesting when Red Sox offered him a 2-year deal for a very good contract, which he deserved. And he called Bob Melvin first to tell him that. Bob Melvin said, you deserve to take it. Johnny Gomes said, don't close the door, because you never know. And Johnny enjoyed his year here, of course, being close to his hometown, but just playing for the green and gold.
It's this one high and deep to right field, but room for Vogt, and Vogt makes the catch.
Stayed hard, stayed fastballs to Johnny Gomes and hit the ball to right field. Struck out Napoli on change-ups.
Running in the 7th position, shortstop, number 7.
So here's Stephen Drew.
Who?
Stephen Drew.
Oh, that's right. He was one of those. They're both signed now, right? After Kenny's Morales, actually, Dave. So at the Twins, this over the weekend.
Yep.
Not weekend, first part of this week.
And Drew rolls one foul. Stephen Drew played the back half of the 2012 season with the Athletics. Did a good job last year with the Red Sox, and took a little while, but he signed back with them. Still probably working his way back into it a little bit. Still spring training for him. May 20th is when they signed Stephen Drew.
So Eric Sogard is not the only player wearing glasses. These are glasses that Stephen Drew started to wear.
High pop up, and it'll be out of play.
But you know, the one thing that you said about working his way back, that is tough to miss spring training, first half, or not first half, couple of months of the season. And you know, these guys are stepping back in to Major League Baseball with pitchers really to peak, because they finished spring training. Pitchers by the second, third month, man, they were pitching great.
So yeah, it's probably the middle of June,
yeah,
beginning of June to middle of June. That could be the worst time
absolutely
to come back.
And you kind of hope you get them towards the downswing, but that doesn't happen in the second half. And after they've thrown a lot of innings and pitched a lot of games, but when you're stepping in and they are at the top of the game.
Drew lays off the slider. 2-2 the count. It's David Ross who is hoping to get a chance to hit. Bounced up the middle, but Caspo has it. He'll flip to first. Side retired. Brzezinski a hit. He is stranded. Bottom of the second coming up. It'll be Donaldson, Lowry, and Norris.
Pack every Friday home game. You can get 4 Plaza Level tickets, 4 Coliseum hot dogs, 4 medium sodas, and 4 bags of peanuts for just $50. Tickets are limited, so act fast. For more information and tickets, go to athletics.com/Friday.
Down the left field line, a line shot off the very top of the wall, and Donaldson is going to have a long single, and he made the right choice to stay at first. Johnny Gomes got a nice hop right off the top of the wall, and then he threw a strike back into second base. So that was a shot, and it did not miss being a home run by a lot.
Well, right in the wheelhouse of Josh Donaldson. He got on top, and we have seen that. And he's running. He did not think he had gotten it. In fact, he hit a home run last homestand. Similar. He thought he did not get it. Running hard this time, though, wisely stopped. Johnny Gomes played this outfield wall a few times, and he played it perfectly with a bare hand and a perfect throw to second to keep Donaldson at first. Two very good outfield plays already in this game.
So second inning in a row that Yankees have a leadoff man. See if they can do something with it this inning. close, 2-0. You mentioned the Red Sox and their injury situation, Ray. Victorino been on the disabled list a couple times this year, hamstring. Middlebrooks has been on the disabled list a couple times, and they're on it right now. Mike Karp is on the DL. Clay Buchholz, who should be back soon, but he's on the disabled list, and so is Felix Doubront. So you got a couple of your starters from your rotation on the DL, and
I think Doubrant's going to be activated for tomorrow night.
Sounds like it.
But you're right. You get injuries, and I don't really think, and I'm sure talking to some Red Sox back in Boston earlier in the season, you know, the fact that they played longer, played in November, and when you win the World Series means you're going to get extra games. Well, you take that anytime and worry about the next season when it comes around. But won a World Championship, everything has to fall in place. And teams that win multiple championships, you want to win it. And David Ortiz has 3 of them, starting in 04. Red Sox went 80 some odd years without winning, and then they finally did in 3 since 2004.
Pitch is lifted foul. The Red Sox beat the Rays in the division series in 4 games. They beat the Tigers in the championship series in 6 games. And then they beat the Cardinals in the World Series in 6 games. So
and those 3 World Championships starting in 04, the first one last year to be clinched at Fenway Park.
Runner goes, and did they call it a strike?
I hope not.
No, they called it a ball. I thought I saw Bill Cousy raise his right arm.
But, you know, again, mostly the umpires are verbal with their calling in the hand signal. So Ross evidently thought it was close enough because he threw to second.
And in the 7th position, the catcher, number 36.
It looked like Cousy was just trying to get out of the way, but it looked like
put his arm up.
He put his arm up, but is his left or right? You know, I think he is holding on, holding on to the back of Ross. He's got his hand on him, so he just released.
So it was his left
arm, but he got out of the way. And boy, you have to, as a catcher, feel that and know. You hope it's not going to hold you down when you try to come out. And I think that's why Cousy backed off.
So again, the A's 1st and 2nd, nobody out.
You know, Kipe, is you know that catcher 3 and 2. Less than 2 outs and the runner might be running. You always say to the umpire, give me a quick call. In other words, if it's a strike, I want a quick call because I don't want to throw unless it's a strike. And Ross evidently didn't hear because he didn't say anything, or Ross thought it was close enough to be a strike. Then he could get the strike without throwing it.
You may say, well, what difference does it make? Well, you don't want to throw the ball to center field.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you've seen it happen, too. And the guy not only gets to second, goes on to third because of the errant throw. And so Cousy doesn't call there, and the throw to second. The umpire second's looking in. There's no call there. Just
did the right thing. No reason for a call.
Usually in a play like that, they look to home plate to see what the umpire's done there. If he hasn't called it a strike, there's no reason to make the call at second.
So 2-1 to Norris. Norris hitting .313 now with 8 home runs and 34 RBIs. And that's not close. So Peavy a little bit all over the place. He's walked 2 and he's given up 2 hits. Vogt will be next. Peavy with 30 pitches already, and there's nobody out here in the 2nd inning. Got a double play, a line-out double play to end the 1st, so that helped him out big time. Right on the corner, and it's 3-2.
Norris, really a good pitch not to swing at. Made it 3-2, and he hopes to get a better one now, because that might have been a double play ground ball. That might give both runners a chance to run again, as it did Donaldson on Bauer's 3-2 pitch.
And they are not running, and it's popped up, and it'll go into the seats. A couple rows back. So the count remains 3-2. No score in the bottom of the second inning. The A's with a chance in the first inning and another chance here in the second inning. So Peavy delivers, and it's hit back to Peavy, who's going to go to third. They get the out there, back to first, and it's thrown away. Lowry is going to go to third, and they're going to wave him home. And Napoli, now Lowry stops. So the runners end up at second and third.
And the third baseman, Bogaerts, might have been shocked that the throw was coming to him.
Yeah, that is not the play you make if you're Peavy.
You know, the amazing thing, Josh Donaldson was out at third. He ran. I don't know if we're going to see him. He's out at third. He ran towards home
Right fielder.
to be there to tell the runner, once he saw the overthrow, he's at home to tell the runner what to do, to slide or not. Donaldson just kept running like he was safe, but he was out with the overthrow. And the amazing thing is Donaldson's, look at, he's out. He's already out. Yet he's like the on-deck hitter telling the runner to slide or not. That's an amazing hustle.
So fielder's choice E5 is your call to put runners at second and third. So if Peavy throws to second now, granted it's a little bit of a longer throw, but the throw to third's not easy either. It's probably a double play.
Well, and it's harder for the third baseman because you have the runner coming in, as Donaldson was there, and he could actually take him out, Bogaerts. So there's a little bit of a confusion there, and then the bad throw across the diamond. So I agree with you. Initially, longer throw to second, but it's more of a standard type double play, like a 1-6-3. But Donaldson alertly started running towards home. Not seen that.
So Lowry at third, Norris at second. And Vogt is going to get a run home as he rolls it to Pedroia. And the A's take advantage of the defensive mistake, as they always seem to do, to take a 1-0 lead. So give Vogt his 9th RBI on the ground now.
Jason attempted it in the first inning. Vogt accomplished it in this inning, and a very good job. Funny thing, if Norris hit the ball back to Peavy, if both runners had been on the goal in the 3-2, that might have changed everything. But they were not, and that's why he went to third.
Asbill lofts one to shallow left. Gomes coming in. And Gomes has it side retired. So a crazy play and helps the A's get a run. So 1-0 Athletics after 2. Sportsnet California is brought to you by Real Strong Redwood. Learn more at realstrongredwood.com. So it's the A's 1 and the Red Sox nothing, top of the third. A's get a run with the help of an error. Ground out by Stephen Vogt for the RBI. So it'll be Ross, Bradley, and Holt. 8-9-1 for the Red Sox.
I don't know if this had anything to do with it, but we showed the numbers with Jake Peavy. Run support very low. Red Sox aren't scoring a lot of runs. Just wonder if that factored into his decision to go to third, thinking that maybe if he goes to second, he doesn't get the double play. Then it's first and third, one out, and maybe going to give up a run. And because you don't see a lot of pitchers throw to third with runners at first and second to start a double play.
Red Sox, it's hard to believe, but they're second to last in scoring in the American League. Only the Rays have scored fewer runs than the Red Sox. They're 13th out of 15 teams in home runs hit. And last year, they led the majors in runs scored. They scored 853 runs last year, and you score over 800 runs in a major league season, that's a lot.
Yeah.
They went 853, and this year just 278 runs scored. But in talking to the Red Sox people, there's one guy that they really miss is Jacoby Ellsbury, and Ellsbury, a very fine player. But the problem is not only do you lose Ellsbury's production, but the guys that are playing in place of him really have not done a lot. Nice play by Kazmir. He lobs it to first for out number 1.
That might have been ball 4. Yep. 3-2. Ross going after the pitch that brought his hands in, but what a play by Kazmir. If he doesn't catch it, that sound might have been his body. Look at the location, and pretty close. Too close to take maybe, but got the fastball. Kazmir, PFP, worked perfectly.
So here's the young center fielder, Jackie Bradley Jr., who is getting most of the playing time. And you see his numbers. He's hitting just 200. He drives this one center field. Coco's on the move, and Coco's not going to be able to get it. So Jackie Bradley says, I got your Jacoby Ellsbury. Here's a double. So a well struck ball there.
But he hit it well and missed the slider. First pitch, came back with the fastball. And oftentimes you'll see a hitter look fastball after a breaking pitch missed. And Coco playing a little bit towards right center, and the ball just over his head. No chance to get to it. Maybe wanted to show the Comcast Sportsnet California side. And that's where he hit it.
So here's Brock Holt, who has done a nice job getting a chance to play. And he takes a fastball inside. How about that? That is the batting average against Scott Kazmir with runners in scoring position. And there is a strike. But you know, you talk about Daniel Nava had a nice year last year for the Red Sox. He's been up and down to the minor leagues this year. So it's just a few guys, and the guys that are here are just not having the kind of years they had last year. Victorino's hurt a lot.
Salta Lamakis out with the Marlins.
Well, and he had a good year. And Brzezinski's been a decent replacement, but Salta Lamacchia hit 17 home runs last year for the Red Sox. Pickoff, and Lowry on the backhand.
Now that's a pickoff. That's the way you're supposed to do it. Little daylight play, and Scott Kazmir made the perfect throw to second, and that was Jen Lowry showing the glove and getting to the bag quickly.
2-1 pitch, and there's a strike. 2-2.
Got him with a slider in his first at bat. Swung and missed out of the strike zone. He was questioning Phil Cuzzy's call on this one. Height-wise, about belt. I think Holton was asking about the location of the outside. But he's had to throw him one slider in this at bat. They struck him out on the slider out of the strike zone.
And he rolls this one toward Callaspo. And that's the second out, with Bradley going to third.
Callaspo not playing a lot of second. This is kind of the first year. He's been a third baseman, but
Now batting,
turned it like it was a double play because of the speed of Holt getting down the line.
So Xander Bogaerts, the youngster, steps in. Flied out to Vogt in foul territory in the first inning. Vogt made a nice play.
Came up last year and did a great job.
Yep. The Red Sox think that Bogaerts has a chance to be a star. He's just a youngster. 21 years old. In fact, he will not turn 22 until October. But Kazmir's going to get him with an off-speed pitch, and the side is retired. Jackie Bradley is stranded at third base. Bottom of the third coming up. 1-0 A's. A's lead 1-0, bottom of the third inning. A's have had a lot going on against Jake Peavy in the first two innings. And they have the top of the order here in the third, with Coco Crisp leading it off, a bunt single in the first inning. Pitch, a breaking ball for a strike. Coco disagrees. Phil Cuzzy's had a pretty wide strike zone tonight.
It's a curveball. Ross outside. He wants it down low, and that's where he throws it. Down low. Gets across the plate at some point.
Good change up there, 80 miles an hour. 0-2 to Coco. Changeup again. This one runs off the plate. So another changeup.
He has a lot of movement of changeup, especially moving away. It's almost like a screwball. When he throws it, only it breaks away from a left-hander. But changeup, sometimes they go straight down. Get that kind of movement off the plate. He's trying to get him to chase, and if the off-speed pitch, maybe roll over, hit a ground ball to the right side.
Peavy off the mound, throws to first, and that's the first out. Time now for the forward right choice, April 23rd of 2012. That's Jake Peavy with the White Sox, and he threw a 3-hit shutout against the Athletics here at the Coliseum. It was 2 days after Phil Humbert threw a perfect game in Seattle. 107 pitches, he struck out 5, and it was a 4-0 White Sox win. Bartolo Colon pitched fairly well for the A's, but in 2 hours and 23 minutes, Jake Peavy shut out the A's. So that was 2012. Last year, he was part of a big trade, a big 3-team, 7-player trade. It was right at the trade deadline. It was one of those good old-fashioned trades, Ray, where everybody got what they wanted. Red Sox needed a pitcher. They got Peavy. The Tigers needed a shortstop. They got Iglesias, the youngster from the Red Sox. White Sox wanted to get younger, so they got Garcia, the outfielder from the Tigers, who was hurt this year. There's a few other names involved.
Well, Peavy was sharp that night against the A's, but Bartolo Colon not as sharp. Gave up back-to-back home runs to Dunn and Konerko. It was good. It was good. It was quick. A 3-hitter. Did it a little over 2 hours. Deal.
Three and two now to Jaso, who walked in the first inning. Grant Balfour in the house. Bogarts charges, bare hands nicely, and throws in time to get Jason. So 2 outs.
Phil Cuzzy going out, and I hope he's not saying right yelling, because Peavy clearly yelling at himself. I think Cuzzy just going out and look at the baseball. But yeah, sometimes people think that when a pitcher comes off the mound, especially a pitcher, screaming at the home plate umpire, but
just threw a ball in the dirt. He's mad at himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Peavy's good. He's got some fire.
Yeah.
Two outs for Cespedes. And an outside corner for a strike.
See, Peavy, I think, does that. He screams and yells on the mound instead of hurting the dugout or something. He'd rather
left center and deep. And that baby's gone. Cespedes has homered, and it's 2-0 Athletics.
He'll really be screaming now, won't he?
Yep.
Well, going to Cespedes, you challenge him, and I think Peavy maybe thought it wasn't going out, but going to Cespedes is a very strong young man, and that ball a little bit towards the end back. But it still cleared the jagged edge in left field, left center.
So home run number 14 for Cespedes.
Fourth of the month of June for Cespedes. We had a big month of May.
Peavy's given up a lot of home runs. That is the 14th home run he has allowed in 90 innings now, and that's a lot. You always look at about 10 home runs for every 100 innings is okay.
I think what Bob Melvin was talking about, the production in the middle part of the lineup. 14 now for Cespedes. Moss and Donaldson with 17 each. And of course then Derek Norris is hitting unbelievably. He has 8. Not quite in double figures yet. When you look at the Red Sox lineup tonight, not one player in double figures. That is unusual itself. Especially at Fenway Park where they play their games. Not to say the Green Monster is an easy target, but they usually put up some long balls. That Big Papi's always going to get home runs. Napoli's a strong man.
Take by Moss, 2-2 to count.
Maybe that 4 hours on the tarmac. Big Papi gets the night off, although lefty's pitching. But what was it? Was it mechanical?
I believe so, yeah. Leaving Boston. Good pitch there. Fastball on the outside corner. That's the first strikeout for Jake Peavy. And Cespedes with his 14th home run. And the A's lead it 2-0 as we head to the 4th.
Fans, follow every A's game with MLB.com and bet on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store or visit athletics.com today.
Well, thanks to the Cespedes home run, the A's have a 2-0 lead, top of the 4th inning. Pedroia bounces one, backhanded. Donaldson straightens up and throws out Dustin Pedroia. Nice play by Donaldson.
He saved a few doubles in this homestand, hasn't he? How about another double that he just saved? Going down, popped up slide, and a perfect throw. Josh Donaldson's back. A little bit of a bump in the road, but everything working well. Swing of the bat well. His throws, fielding, and that's pretty special right there, because that is extra bases.
So 1 away. Here's Napoli.
The sun's going to come out later. Good job. Now those glasses might be the clear glasses to keep the breeze out, not the sunglasses. He was wearing those. Don't forget a back shot of the back of the head. You see the clear. He started to wear those when I can't tell because it's green cap. I think they're the more of the clear, because sometimes when there's a breeze blowing, he likes to wear them. As Adrian Beltre, we've seen him do that as well. Clear glass to keep the wind out of the eyes. Josh has some very good range, and that's range. And being able to pop up that quickly and see him spin the baseball, get the four-seam grip, because when balls hit that hard and you stop it, no matter how speed the runner has, still have plenty of time, get a good grip.
So 2-2 the count to Napoli.
That was a changeup his first at bat. He is an aggressive hitter. Yep, he is. There it is again.
And he got him again. Strikeout number 4 for Casper. All right, here's our McDonald's True Stories. Has to do with the Red Sox when new ownership took over in 2001. Remember, they had not won a World Series since 1918, but that all changed in 2004. Then they won it again in 07 and again in 2013. Went worst to first. So they have certainly had a great run. 3 titles in the last 10 seasons. And when you kind of look at the last 10 seasons, you think about the Red Sox winning 3. Cardinals have won a couple. Giants have won a couple. But stretching that out, of course, nowhere near the Yankees' 27 total world championships. But in that 10-year run, nobody has won more than the Red Sox. Kazmir knocks it down, picks it up, throws in time. Brzezinski's retired, and so are the Red Sox. So a 3-up, 3-down inning. Bottom of the 4th coming up. A's 2, Red Sox nothing. And his duck boat. Ray, you love this story.
That's a great story. Of course, the Red Sox, they call it duck tours in Boston. They are, I guess they're called amphibious, where they go on the land and in the water. It's a pretty good word, huh?
That's a that's a Ken Korak word.
Oh, no, please. But so they do the tours and the celebration and all the parades and the duck boats. So, PB, I like it. I'll buy it. What are you going to do with a duck boat?
Yeah, that's a good call.
You know,
yeah. You ever taken the duck boat tour in Boston? It's pretty good. You should.
Yeah.
It is. It's fun. It's very historic, obviously. It's not bad.
But you know, when they just take off in the water, I don't know if that's that part.
They do. They shoot right down into the water.
And I think it's great when they do their tours, or not tours, but the celebrations and parades, and the guys on the duck boats, and so they can have people lining up the rivers, and so right down the middle.
I know. One out here in the bottom of the 4th is Donaldson, who's retired.
Number 8, Jed Lowry.
Lowry walked and scored in the 2nd inning. couple of walks and 1 strikeout for Peavy so far. Toward the A's bullpen. This is Peavy. He's yelling at himself. Unbelievable. I thought he said it was something unbelievable.
Yeah, that's one of the blankety blank unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I like the fire. I mean, I think it's great.
Yeah, he's yelling at himself.
That's all it is. Yeah, Balfour yells at himself.
Yes, he does.
Whenever he was with the A's, he took a little more time than Jake Peavy does in between pitches.
Jake Peavy's ready to go.
Yeah.
Man, you watch, he does not stroll around the mound a whole lot. He gets right back up on the rubber. Left center. That's hit well. Gomes on the run, and Gomes is not going to get it. So it's going to be a 1-out double for Lowry.
I think for teams that are trying to play defense against the A's and Jed Lowry, they're a little bit confused whenever he shows his kind of power. Opposite field, that ball out of the strike zone, yet look at the extension, and he drives the ball 1 hops the wall into left center. But look how far he has to reach and still generate that kind of power with a pitch that far outside. And Johnny Gomes, ball really didn't slice, it stayed straight. Usually a left-hander will slice the ball back towards the left fielder to be able to catch up to it, but he generated the power, it stayed straight, and it was a 1-out double.
So Norris steps in, good in these spots. He's got a man out there at second base. And a changeup, swing and miss, maybe not a changeup. Didn't do a lot, just.
It was like a changeup slider that had the spin of a slider but didn't break like a true slider, but it was off speed. And Derek Norris, very unusual for him to see him pull off the pitch as he did on that one.
Norris hit the ball back to Peavy in the second inning when Peavy spun it through to third to get the out there, but Bogart's trying to finish the double play, threw the ball away, and it was a big play. Everybody thought Peavy would try to go to second and then have the double play go that way. Instead, he went to third. Catch the fastball on the outside corner. 2-2 to count. 12% changeup, 12% cutter.
Last pitch, a quick pitch fastball. Apparently looked at second, but got rid of the ball quickly, trying to change the delivery pattern.
So Peavy's got 5 legitimate pitches. And at this point in his career, if one's not working, just go to the next one. Derek Norris' name in there somewhere. Two pitch swing and a miss with the fastball on the outside corner. So 2 outs here in the 4th inning.
Well, Stephen Vogt, Sunfield, making sure the sunglasses work.
Right fielder.
Puts him on the top of his head. He runs into foul territory. Avoids the run by Moss. This time goes for Brzezinski. Holds him to a single with a great throw after cutting the ball off, and then rolls over on a pitch to get a runner in and a runner over Stephen Vogt. As Vogt says, 3 catchers the lineup usually means 10 runs. Well, we got 8 to go.
Yeah.
3 catchers are though in the lineup again tonight. I believe in Stephen Vogt. They're starting again.
I'm telling you, he's in the middle of almost every A's scoring round. Oh, 1 to Vogt. Little flare, and that's going to drop, and that's going to get a run home. Stephen Vogt does it again. 3-0, the A's lead.
And it does not have to be hard, but plays perfectly. Stephen Vogt with a little bit of an inside-out swing, unlike his first bat where he rolled over. This one he stayed inside and lofted the ball in the center field. Look at pull the hands in, and that's a pitch. If you try to pull the ball, you jam yourself, you break the bat. Pull the hands in softly in the center field, and with 2 outs, no hesitation by Jed Lau. Stephen Vogt's driven in 2. Cespedes the other with a home run.
Pitch to Caspo is a strike.
Cespedes' home run went twice as far as Vogt's 2 contact plays that have resulted in 2 runs.
2 RBI.
A ground ball and a ball over the shortstop's head.
Good take by Caspo, who hit a fly ball to left field to end the second inning. Not close. 2-1. Kibi's control has not been sharp today.
He's already in just the 4th inning, 6 hitters with 3 ball count. 3-3-2, 3-3-1.
To the backstop, and Vogt will jog the second.
That's how much he's off the plate.
Yep.
Hard breaking ball. Ross outside has tried to backhand the ball that just could not get to quick enough. And as a catcher, you know these are major league pitchers, and whenever you give a target, you anticipate the ball being relatively close. And Ross, that's all he could do, is try to backhand, could not knock the ball down.
And that pitch is a strike. 3-2. Caspo will step out, now step back in. A run in for the A's on the Vogt 2-out RBI hit. One tap over the mound. Drew has it. Throws in time. Side retired. Run on 2 hits, so we're on to the 5th inning. It's now 3-0, the A's lead.
will get together for the second A's Community Fund Bowling Bash presented by Chevron and Lagunitas and supported by Crystal Clear Imaging and Sharp Investments. The bash takes place this Saturday, June 21st at Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl. Proceeds benefit the A's Community Fund. Hope they bring some of that music to go along with the bowling.
Ice Ice Baby, you like that?
What was that? You know that?
It's Vanilla Ice. Come on. There's only one Vanilla Ice. It's not something you eat either. Ice Ice Baby.
Sorry. I wasn't aware of that. I'm glad you're here to tell me all these songs.
Casimir rolling along. 17 consecutive innings since his last earned run. 4 shutout tonight. So 1-2 to Gomes. Reaches for that changeup, which seems like it's been a pretty good pitch tonight for Casimir.
And for Gomes, remember his last at bat, 5 pitches, didn't see a changeup, and all of a sudden this at bat. So that's second time through the batting order, changing of, in this case, fastball to changeup. They both look the same.
And the changeup, strike 3 called. Strikeout number 5 for Casimir. Well, make sure you join us tomorrow to be game 2 of this 4-game set versus the Red Sox, and Brad Mills is going to pitch for the Athletics. So we've been told he'll be opposed by Felix Dubron, who's going to come back off the disabled list. So Brad Mills, just acquired by the Athletics, is going to make the start tomorrow night. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with A's pregame live. So Brad Mills, a left-hander.
Now that's not the Brad Mills who's a bench coach for Terry.
No, I don't believe it is.
Drew Pomerantz would have been starting, but he's on the disabled list, unfortunately. Brad was saying that he went to the University of Arizona, where Brad Mills went. It was very, very confusing for the alums. Hey, your dad, we really enjoyed you. No relation.
I'm not a junior.
No relation. He's an All-American baseball player before he even showed up. Nice young man, and we shall see him tomorrow night. And left-handed, and he is pretty good as far as the numbers just showed. The strikeout to walk ratio, and better than Sean Doolin.
Guys are starting to move around a little bit out in that Red Sox bullpen. But of course, with that, Mills starting tomorrow, there will have to be, somebody's going to have to get sent down. We'll see what happens there. So full count to Stephen Drew. David Ross waits in the on-deck circle. 3-2 pitch is broken bat line drive. Cayaspo grabs it. Drew swung at ball 4. And that's the second out. 7 in a row retired by Casimir since the Jackie Bradley double in the third.
How many times have we seen an A's player go 3-2 and be patient, take a walk on a pitch out of the strike zone versus seems like other hitters get aggressive, similar counts, and expand the strike zone, which is okay if you get hits, but breaking the bat and soft line drive to second baseman is not the same.
I think we see it 3 to 4 times a game from each side.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
It's just a guess, but we see the A's every day.
And I think what you said yesterday, at bat by Brandon Moss, helped set up an inning of scoring for the Athletics. And if he swings out of the strike zone, maybe the inning's over, keeps it going with 2 outs, the A's score.
very close. Kazmir took a step toward his own dugout.
Well, you make the call.
That one up the middle. Callaspo backhands. Flips. Nice play. Alberto Callaspo. Side retired. So 8 in a row tied for Scott Kazmir. And it's still the A's leading 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. To CSNCA fan photo. Put your name down in your hometown for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It's all brought to you by AT&T. Juan Cervantes from Oakland sends us this photo. Doesn't look like the field is quite ready yet, so it's got to be fan fest. Juan, thanks for sending it. We appreciate it. So Clay Wood with a shovel in his hand in the background. So.
That was probably after a tractor pull or some sort of dirt event on the field. Dirt, because that's all. They just bring piles of dirt in. And Clay turns it in this beautiful, immaculate baseball field. For a couple of more months anyway.
Coco to first. Napoli grabs it, then flips to Peavy. And Coco Crisp is retired. 1 out. So Napoli had a reach for that one on the backhand.
One of the best things for Mike Napoli is the fact that since he's been with the Red Sox, he hasn't caught. He's been a first baseman and a very good one. Made himself a very good first baseman. Still got catcher's technique, though. That is turned out to be a good flip. Remember last year when Mike Napoli, actually before last year, had a huge contract ready to sign. Did a physical, something wrong on the hip. He said, okay, gets a much lesser contract. But as it turns out, he signs a long term and he's going to make more money on the deal than he would have made if he'd signed a 3-year deal last year. Right. So it worked out well for him. But the physicals, as they usually give to players when they're about ready to sign multi-year, multi-million-dollar contracts, in this case, they found something, but signed with them anyway with incentives and more than made up for it. Also got a world championship ring.
Ready re-signed for 2 years and $32 million.
And the combined salary plus incentives last year.
Yep.
I think the 3-year contract initially was going to be 39.
And it's a little bit more than that.
Yep, exactly.
Chase Show strikes out, and that's 3 strikeouts now for Peavy. Still trailing 3-0.
2 innings ago, he did the same thing. Got the first 2 hitters, then Cespedes hit a solo home run. These 2 of the 3 runs coming with 2 outs, something that they've done pretty consistently all year.
First pitch to Cespedes, and it's a slider for a strike. Cespedes homered in the 3rd. High drive into the seats in left field. Usually not quite into the seats. So now 14 home runs and 49 RBIs for Cespedes. Last year he hit 26 home runs in 135 games. This year he's got 14, and this is game number 74. Been able to stay healthy this year, at least so far. That's good news. Close pitch, 2-2 the count.
The board is a little bit slow at 1-1, now 2-1. It is 2-2. Cespedes doesn't pay attention to that.
Good take and a full count. Board still says 3-1. Cespedes had a good swing and a fastball.
0-1, same count that he had in his last home run. It was a fastball also, and I don't know, the TV initially thought it was going to be a home run, but realized, and there they go again. So they changed. They had a new flag bearer and 2 more new dancers.
Bogarts bare hand, and they got him. What a play by Xander Bogaerts, the young 3rd baseman. He barehanded it and threw out Cespedes on a close play. So the A's looking at the replay, but it doesn't look like
just a reminder, we've got a couple of
they're going to take a look at it. And they're not. 3-0, the A's lead after 5.
Service is now available. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live at True HD on over 400 devices. Visit athletics.com for details.
Top of the 6th inning, and Casimir has been sharp so far as he faces Bradley, Holt, and Bogaerts. No walks, 5 strikeouts, and just 2 hits allowed by Casimir. Rolling along. pitch there with a fastball 2-1. Cam. Left center field, but Cespedes is going to get over and under it, and that's the first out. So Brock Holt will hit top of the order.
Well, one of the best things again about a pitcher and a catcher working together and not staying in the same pattern. We've seen that tonight with Scott Kazmir and Derek Norris working, changing speeds, and it's almost like, okay, we did this with it first time, second time, now third time. Let's change it up a little bit more and see what's going to work. One thing hitters will do, they'll go back to the dugout and they'll just remember what a pitcher did to them, against them, previous at bats, and think differently in the next one. That's why it's important for the pitcher catcher to change things up.
1-1 the count to the leadoff man, Brock Holt.
Kurt Schilling had the book in the dugout. Every time he went back to the dugout after each half inning, he made notes about hitters that he faced.
I never thought that was such a horrible idea. No, really, if you think about it. I mean, unless you can remember it, but that's asking a lot.
Well, of course, yeah, and you know, maybe something happened in the at bat that he'll remember the next time, and you know, maybe watched his feet on a certain pitch.
Cespedes is going to play this one. A couple of hops as Brock Holt drops one into left field. So that breaks a stretch of 9 consecutive hitters retired by Kazmir.
You know, you see hitters do that, at least
Number 2,
maybe take notice of something that a pitcher did to them, and maybe not for the particular game, but for later. Of course, they have the videos to look at also. And I think the extensive work that video coordinators put in, we see it with Adam Roden on a consistent basis, and there's so much information that's provided, maybe hitters, pitchers don't have to do as much on their own anymore. Schilling stood out, and late Tony Gwynn was the first to use the video. That he would put the videos and watch himself, watch pitchers and how they approached him. Now it's readily available.
You have to have really a full setup even on the road.
Yeah.
When we go on the road, Adam has a full setup in every clubhouse, and it's fairly in depth.
He's working on the plane with his computer, setting up the reports and everything. So yeah, so when you show up as a player, coach, whatever, it's all there for you.
We always tease Adam. Hey, how's your room in this clubhouse? Some places it's pretty nice, other places not so nice.
Well, now he's got all the monitors for the challenges. I mean, he's got every camera angle, and you go into his video room now, you're seeing a whole bunch of monitors, and it's a different challenge, very well accepted by him.
High and foul. He's got a good room here at the Coliseum.
Yep. Boston, though, the old clubhouse in Boston, he's right in the middle of the clubhouse.
Yeah, there's not
any extra rooms there. Not on the visiting side, anyway.
I don't even like to go in there because you just stand there and you're wherever you stand, you're in the way.
Yeah.
And if you move anywhere, well, then you're in the trainer's room. It's got to be the smallest clubhouse in the league.
Well, and they've upgraded the
well.
home side. I think they built a second level and kind of a lounge and move things around for the home side. But it's a historical site now. Nothing's going to change, and they'd rather try to add seats at Fenway Park for the fans to come in. Visiting, they figure they're only coming in 3 games a year anyway, so who cares?
That's right. The battle here, 0-2 to Bogarts. Fouls another one back.
Scott's going to use, I don't know what it's called, behind the mound. He can get the dirt. Sometimes use a tongue depressor, but between innings, he'll just kind of scrape the foot over that to get the dirt out. But he was jumping and banging both shoes together, trying to get the dirt out between innings.
And a changeup, and Bogarts swung at a pitch that was about 2 feet outside. 6 strikeouts for Casper.
Well, there's a case where he watch out quickly, and then it's like he's going to throw it 120 miles an hour and pull the string. And Bogarts, who had fouled off 4 after getting 0-2, finally tried to reach a changeup that was unreachable.
Well, Bogarts is 0 for 3. Most great A's fans will tell you 6 strikeouts. First pitch to Pedroia, big swing, foul. Talking a lot about the changeup tonight, and these are the numbers for Casimir with that specific pitch this year compared to last year. And the yellow is this year. You don't have to really go a whole lot further than the batting average. The ground ball percentage significantly higher. I guess you always think of a guy with a good two-seam fastball, good sinker, just a great ground ball pitch. Good changeup could be a good ground ball pitch.
It's outstanding because you saw Bogarts getting out on the front foot, and what happens then? You just roll over. You have nothing left to swing, and you just kind of top hand roll over, and it results in a ground ball. If you stay back and go pop it straight up.
Slider in. 2-1 to Pedroia, who has struck out and then was robbed of a hit by Donaldson. Donaldson made a nice backhand play down the line and threw out Pedroia in the 4th inning. So 90 pitches for Casbeer with 2 outs in the 6th. Pedroia to left, and that's hit well. Cespedes is near the wall. He's at the wall. He leaps, and he just missed it. He just missed it, and Pedroia has homered, and now it's 3-2. Cespedes can't believe it, and neither can Coco Crisp. That's how close he came to catching it. The ball actually bounced back onto the field.
Well, there was a high fly ball, and that enabled him. It was a high changeup, and Pedroia out on the front foot, just what we're talking about, but he got enough of it. And Cespedes got back to the wall, his jumping ability, and that close. Here's the look, and this with the long glove right off.
Oh, he got glove.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He got a fair amount of leather on it. It looked like it hit him in the thumb of the glove.
Yeah.
So what an effort. He timed it perfect.
And he threw him a high changeup, but watch the glove, 14-inch glove, long glove, and heel, right, the thumb, just like you said. And Casimir, of course, the look on his face probably more about the location of the changeup. But Cespedes can jump, and he almost jumped and robbed. Good work.
Napoli swings and misses on an 0-2 pitch. So that's strikeout number 7. But the Red Sox get on the board. Dustin Pedroia with his 4th home run of the year. So we got a ball game. It's now 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
Jake Peavy and Stephen Vogt. Little ground out. That was after an error in the inning, but it scored a run. And Yoenis Cespedes, a solo home run blast to left center, within 14 home runs. And then Dustin Pedroia just made it a one-run game. Scott Kazmir's last run he gave up was a solo home run to Mark Teixeira on June the 3rd. And the next one was this, and he can't believe it. He didn't give up an earner run his last start, but Ernie Teixeira, actually Teixeira drove in 2 in New York on the 3rd. The A's won that game. With Pedroia tonight, got a high changeup, and amazing guy, because we were just talking about what hitters do in a changeup. If the fool, you get out on the front foot, but Pedroia left the bat back, and he was able to hit it strong enough to hit the high changeup.
So the changeup was not a great ground ball pitch there.
Not that. It was up, if it's down low, yes, but it was up high and goes over the fence.
Moss skies one toward center field where Bradley is under, and Moss is retired. He's 0 for 3.
Now batting, third baseman, number 20, Josh Donaldson.
So did you watch the end of the no-hitter last night by Clayton Kershaw? He was nasty.
15
oh my goodness.
I saw his curveballs is unhittable.
I mean, I turned it on in the 7th inning because I saw where he was throwing it. So it's fun to watch no-hitters, right? See if guys can. And that's the best curveball I've ever seen.
Talk about a 12-6.
It was unbelievable.
Right off the table, unhittable, and struck out 15 of the 27 outs recorded. I think there was 1, maybe 2 great plays, one with the third baseman. But surprising thing that I heard was he's only the 3rd reigning Cy Young Award winner to pitch a no-hitter.
The next year.
The next year. Sandy Koufax for the Dodgers and Bob Gibson for the Cardinals. And I think the biggest surprise is what took him so long.
That's true. He hasn't been around that long, but man, he is so good.
And remember, he went to Australia, but then came back with on the disabled list. And between he, Greinke, and Beckett pitched a no-hitter.
Yep.
So the Dodgers have 2 no-hitters this year already.
Yeah, they pitched him in 24 days apart.
Yeah, that's right.
That. So Clayton Kershaw, congratulations on his no-hitter last night. But in the 9th inning, he went out there. And now you're thinking, you know, hey, guys are going to give them their best at bat. Capuano starting to throw. He threw 6 pitches, and that was all he needed in the 9th inning. And I was thinking, you know what? They didn't want to get to 2 strikes against him.
No, not with the curve.
Because you had no chance against him. And I don't remember Sandy Koufax pitching, but I said that must have been the way his curveball.
That's right. It was. It was the same type. A little different delivery, but it was unconventional. Hard to pick up the ball from Koufax, similar to the delivery, kind of herky-jerky from Kershaw.
Donaldson popped it up, and the Red Sox are going to have a play in foul territory. Bogarts, he's got it. This is the final out. He got the final out. It looked like a slider. It was not that big snapping curveball, but he got it nonetheless. And you're right. I think it was just a matter of time before Kershaw, who's got a couple of Cy Youngs to his credit. That's his wife. So it was fun on the MLB Network to be able to listen to Vince Scully call it.
I thought one of the interesting things at the bottom of the 8th inning, went up to McGuire supposedly and said, why do they keep bringing lefties in and I have to face lefties, and hit a ground ball and sprinted to first base, not even concerned about pitching the 9th inning, the no-hitter on the line.
Well, he only threw 107 pitches, and he had 15 strikeouts. So he was just pumping strikes in there, all different varieties. The Rockies really did not have much of a chance.
And the best hitting club in the National League, the Rockies.
So 1-1 to Lowry, who has scored a couple of the A's runs tonight. He walked and scored in the 2nd, doubled and scored in the 4th.
And Peavy's getting better. He is 1-2-3 last inning after the base hit by Vogt, retired Callaspo, so 6 in a row for Peavy.
Well, he's at 104 pitches, so this will probably be it for him.
Well, the pitch count will get him, regardless of how well he's pitching. Yep. He is pitching much better, but pitch count usually gets to a pitcher, and got to Sonny Gray a couple of starts ago. Pitched better against the Yankees after the first couple of innings.
Close pitch, drops outside, so 2-2 the count. And again, that you got a one-run game, and there's still quite a bit of baseball left in this game, but the decision by Peavy to throw to third instead of second comes into play, and Lowry is arguing with Phil Cuzzy. He thought the pitch was low, but it's called the strike, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Jake Peavy. The big head Dennis Eckersley win the race tonight.
Actually, which Mullion would win tonight?
And he did. And I think most people felt that he would win tonight because he's in the house.
Yeah, he's here.
So it's great to see that. But it's just, it's hard to see the big head. And then to see, I mean, Eck's a good-looking guy. I mean, come on. And then you see the big head, and it just does not do Eck justice. It's not fair.
No, it is not.
It's just not fair.
No. Not the dapper Dennis Eckersley.
He's dapper. He's sharp.
And then you look at that.
Look at that.
That's a Mullion. He would never go out like that. I mean, that's a Mullion. When Raleigh was here, Raleigh won 2, so I guess it was fixed.
I mean, Ricky looks pretty good, right? And Raleigh looks like Raleigh, but Eck's just, I mean, it's just not fair.
Delaire, do a split screen of Eck there and the big head. I mean, that's just not it. Now they're watching. They're probably watching a replay there down in Silla. They're a little high-fiving over there.
Oh, man.
Gotta go.
Come on, you caught his no-hitter.
That's right.
How great is that?
Your brother was a second.
Yes, he was. Just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, right.
1977.
Every Memorial Day will always be special because of the Eckersley no-hitter. In downtown Cleveland, at the Stake by the Lake.
Joe Tate, the Herb Score, the Indians announcers, they were a little superstitious. They never said no-hitter. I was listening to you on the radio. They said, the Angels have nothing. And they said that for the last 5 innings.
Now take a look at that.
It's just not fair.
No, that's...
That is not a good-looking man on the left. It's just not.
No, it is not. Abad is throwing the A's bullpen. He's got Kazmir at 100. So Abad, the hard throwing lefty, is getting loose. Careful on this 3-1.
Gomes had a rip like he should at 3-1, and he got a fastball and he fouled it back. So full count with Stephen Drew to follow. So over 100 pitches now for Kazmir. Call. There's that high changeup again. The Red Sox have been called out on that pitch a couple times tonight.
Johnny Gomes just fouled off a 3-1 fastball. The changeup, couldn't pull the trigger. Thought he had the walk. And it's called by Cuzzy. So the floating strike zone got it.
So that's 8 strikeouts for Kazmir, and here's Stephen Drew. I don't think Johnny wants to go back and look at that on video. He'll be even more ticked off if he sees it on video. Pedroia's 2-run homer in the 6th inning runs for the Red Sox. I can't look at the guy.
Ricky's got his sunglasses on now.
Fastball high, and the count is even at 2-2. Take on a slider, so full count. Most pitches that Kazmir has thrown in a start this year is 109 at New York just a handful of starts ago.
Scott, since the home run by Pedroia, has been pitching out of frustration. I think when he took his cap off and couldn't believe the changeup went out, and since then the strikeout to Napoli blew him away with a fastball. Then Brzezinski, Gomes a strikeout on the changeup, trying to do the same with Drew.
So Drew chased a pitch that's a little up. Then you never know. He may have chased it because of what he's seen called strikes tonight.
Exactly.
Late timeout called.
Too late. Too late.
And Drew hits it foul, bouncing past Moss. Nice crowd tonight, 24,371. This one stays fair. Moss has it. He'll hustle to the backside, retired. 3 up, 3 down inning for Kazmir. 7th inning stretch from the Coliseum. Good ball game tonight. A's 3, Red Sox 2. Brewers.
The catcher, number 36.
And here at the Coliseum, it's a 3-2 A's lead. Derek Norris to lead off, and Jake Peavy's back out there. So Peavy pitching well as of late. He's retired 7 in a row, but he trails 3-2 with 106 pitches and a lefty in the bullpen. This could be the last hitter Peavy faces. We'll see. First pitch to Norris is a bit outside. Norris has reached on a fielder's choice, and he has struck out. A's with 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and 1 in the fourth. Red Sox got their 2 in the sixth. Gregerson is now warming up for the Athletics.
Labate was up just in case and needed to come in to get it out, but he sits down, and now it's Gregerson for the 8th, and the A's hope Doolittle for the 9th and another W. Had a 2-0 lead, so the Rangers tied, but very quickly came right back and added 2 more and won 4-2 tonight. 3-0 lead. Jordan made it 3-2, and Peavy has settled down with 7 in a row retired.
Two pitch, broken back to the shortstop. Drew throws to Napoli, and that's out number 1. So Scott Kazmir tonight with 7 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. He remains second in the American League in ERA behind Masahiro Tanaka. Felix Hernandez 3rd, Burley 4th, Darvish 5th.
Still didn't give up a run with man in scoring position because the runner was at first when the 2-run home run was hit. So it is another 7 innings of no hits in that category. But still probably puzzled by the 2-run home run that he gave up. Change up. Teixeira hit a fastball from the right side. That was at Yankee Stadium into left center.
So Mahika, the right-hander, joins Capuano. Right now, Peavy's dealing. 8 in a row retired.
And he might fight John Farrell to stay. I mean, John Farrell saw him come off the mound and start screaming.
But his season high in pitches is 113. He's done that 3 times. He's now got his new season high. So 3-1 to Vogt, who has a couple of RBIs tonight, 1 on a ground out and 1 on a single. Blooped a single with 2 outs in the 4th inning that scored Lowry. That's the difference in the game right now. So Vogt's batting average up to .341. And he misses outside. Peavy not happy, and it's a 1-out walk. And that is going to do it for Big Peavy.
Farrell's not going to wait. He's going to make the call right now. Not going to give him a chance to talk him out of it.
So Peavy will not get a win tonight as he leaves trailing 3-2. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up at Smog experts.
Your attention, please.
Broadcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports, and by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
So Jake Peavy goes 6 1/3 tonight. 3 runs, 2 earned with the base runner his responsibility. That base runner is Craig Gentry. So Gentry pinch running for Vogt. As Callaspo swings around to hit from the right side against Capuano. So Chris Capuano, the left-hander, comes in. Capuano out of the bullpen. He started this season with 15 scoreless innings, and he was really pitching well. Then on the 3rd of May, the A's knocked him around. I think the Red Sox won the game, but the A's came back late, just came up a little bit short. Capuano couldn't get anybody out, and that started a little slide for him after that great start. But still a very important man. This Red Sox bullpen overall.
Gentry a threat to steal, especially against left-handers. That appearance, you're talking about 4 batters, 3 hits, 3 runs. So
it was quick too.
Very quick. And was the scoring by the Red Sox in the 1st inning Saturday afternoon.
Callaspo fouls it back. Red Sox wanted to flip Callaspo around. He's hitting 167 right-handed. He's hitting 287 left-handed. About twice as many at-bats left-handed. Tonight, Callaspo has hit a fly ball to left field, and he has grounded to short. The outfield playing very shallow for Callaspo. Middle infielders had double play depth. And Jackie Bradley quite a ways in center field. Gentry with the lead. And Callaspo, a one-hopper. Nice play by Pedroia. Out at second and safe at first. Kind of a strangely hit ball, and it actually ended up being a fairly tough play for Pedroia. He wanted to catch it in the air, but he couldn't quite do it.
So he's going to run for Callaspo, but there's a spin. Why he did not want the spin of the baseball, and unfortunately Callaspo with a broken back, and Pedroia had to reach back and then realize get the lead runner. But if he catches the ball in the air, he's got Gentry at first with speed, and now Sogard's in to pinch run, staying defensively.
So Callaspo done for the night. And now to the top of the order in Coco Crisp. Splits this year are pretty even. As a right-handed hitter, he's hitting 278. As a left-handed hitter, 284. A bunt single back in the 1st inning. Since then, he has grounded out a couple times. Pitch is just a bit low to Crisp, who taking a long look down at Mike Gallego. Hayes with 3 runs on 5 hits tonight. The Red Sox with 2 runs on 4 hits, and the Red Sox have made the only error in this game. Hayes' bullpen is quiet. Gregerson was throwing, so he's pretty much ready to go. Stride with a changeup, 79 miles per hour.
I think relievers like Gregerson know how much they need to throw to get ready. They just don't want to stand up and keep throwing, especially with a long inning. Great off-speed pitch and great location, outside corner.
Sogard, decent lead at first.
Ever seen the Swallows come back to Capistrano?
What's that?
The Swallows in Capistrano. Not Capuano, Capistrano. Every time I see Capuano, I think the Swallows coming back to Capistrano.
Missed again. 3-1 now to Coco Cruz. Tried to throw the same pitch, but that one was high. Coco with a walk. So Capuano got himself in some trouble here. It's 4 walks now by Red Sox pitcher. And now Jaso. And it could be that Capuano maybe pitching careful to Coco, knowing that he's got a left-handed hitter, Jaso, that he could be facing, and that is what's happening right now. Jaso 0 for 2 with a walk. Also grounded out and struck out. First pitch is a strike. Fastball outside corner. Jaso has not hit a lot against left-handed pitching this year.
Now the guy who normally would pinch hit for him is catching. So that pinch hitting opportunity. One catcher already out of the lineup, and then Stephen Bowden, who was in right field.
Jaso has 170 at-bats this year, and only 16 against left-handed pitching.
Always the key, and John Jaso changes his stance. Now he's spread out. Of course, he goes to that the stance where his feet are close together, open up, but spreads out a little more against the lefty. And one thing he does do is changes his stance often. Cal Ripken Jr., all those years of consecutive games played, changed his stance almost every year, sometimes every at-bat. And remember, Jaso, of course, feet together, but totally different now, spread out. This is just one of those trying to make contact with the lefty. Slightly open stance, maybe not much of a strike.
So the 2-1 pitch will not be made. We'll have a full meeting at the mound. So the A's trying to extend the 3-2 lead. Sogard at second, Crisp at first, and 2-1 to Jaso. And there's a base hit center field. Here comes Sogard. Bradley's throw is cut off. The throw to third, and Coco's out. But Sogard comes in to score, and the A's get another insurance run, and they get another big 2-out RBI hit, this one by Jaso. 8th inning coming up. It's the A's 4 and the Red Sox 2. Two-out RBI hits, so a couple of two-out RBI hits for the A's in this game.
Got the breaking ball, maybe the spread out stance. Hardest right, and not enough of a shift this time. And Riley's throw really not that strong. Cut off by Napoli, which is smart on his part, and Coco Crisp out. And so Phil Cuzzy saying Sogard scored, pointing emphatically at home plate, saying Sogard scored before Crisp was tagged out. Big hit by Jaso. So how many now? 17 plate appearances against lefties, and that was a big at bat by John Jaso, and that's a big run for the Athletics to give a 2-run lead.
Gentry, who was pinch runner, stays in the game in right field. Sogard stays in the game at second base, and Gregerson takes over. Gregerson facing a pinch hitter, Nava. But it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog expert. So Gregerson with the 8th inning roll. ERA now under 2. Nava hits one down the left field line to foul. So Nava hitting for Ross. There's Sogard in the game.
Well, there's the importance of running hard. Sogard did that, running hard from second and scored. And you never know if the ball is going to be cut, as it was, and you'd hate to slow down thinking you have it easily, and all of a sudden the outreach is recorded at third before you score. So Sogard was able and ran hard through the plate and scored a big run.
So 1-2 to Nava. Has been up and down between Boston in the minor leagues this year. Now 2-2. Nava had a nice year last year. Has not been able to duplicate that this year. He's a switch hitter.
It's pretty much Gomes and Nava last year platooning. Gomes played a lot during the postseason. In fact, it was a 10-11 win reported by the Red Sox to win the World Championship.
And Nava swings and misses, and that's out number 1. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Best chase percentage this season. Luke Gregerson on top. So what the heck is chase percentage? Well, Guys swinging at pitches out of the strike zone, chasing.
Yeah. And if you're at the top of the list and you have Clayton Kershaw behind you, then you're good because he's got to chase. And
your attention, please.
Dan Otero's on the list.
Batting for Bradley.
The sound you're hearing, unlike what we heard at the end of the bottom of the 7th, when it was very quiet. The sound you were hearing was the applause for David Ortiz, who was walking out of the dugout to pinch hit for Bradley.
So Ortiz with a big ovation, and
well, just thinking about this move, and I agree with you, because you would not expect a power hitter capable of home runs to pinch hit, trailing by 2, and nobody on base. But if you look at the lineup, I guess you could hope for Bradley maybe to get on and pinch hit for Holt. But after that, you're not going to pinch it for anybody else in the lineup.
You're not going to pinch hit for 2, 3, 4.
Exactly. Right.
Maybe Brzezinski at the 5th spot, but what if you don't get there?
Exactly. So John Farrell, Robert just planning to do one thing, trying to get the run with one swing of the bat. But we shall see with the slider that he's probably going to get. Is
maybe you'd hate to have the game end and a close game where you didn't use Ortiz.
Right.
And of course the Nava at bat now looks very huge as it was before that, because you knew Ortiz was lurking in the dugout. 2-0. Good pitch there.
And the slider just elevated it into the strike zone.
To a pitch and a good one. And Ortiz swings and misses.
Now it's the Red Sox fans cheering that he had the big swing, or the A's fans cheering that he swung and missed. I think the latter.
Yep.
I think the A's fans took over with the cheering. Big swing and 4 pitches, 4 sliders. Not surprising coming from Rick Gregerson.
Goes with a fastball and runs off the plate. So full count. Brock Holt, the leadoff man, is in the on-deck circle.
Just kept running on him, and Poppy took it. There's the shift to the right. 3 on the right side. Tilgar right field. Donaldson on the outfield grass near second.
3-2 pitch. Here it is. It's fouled straight back. The thing with David Ortiz, Ray, he's still an at-bat that you want to watch.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Derek Norris didn't want the at-bat to end up with a ball off his mask. Watch this shot. This is not good. Ugh. Flip the mask, and you know that's a hard hit. Just over the catcher's mitt, and right direct hit on the mask of Derek Norris. Good mask, good padding, under steel bars.
Better be.
That's right. Thick beard to add a little extra protection.
So another 3-2. Gregerson to David Ortiz. Here it is. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Sends the crowd into a little bit of a frenzy. And Ortiz with the slow, and I mean slow, walk back to the dugout.
Well, 3-2, and big swing. Gregerson got it. Nick Poppy never going to get cheated. Just a little bit late on the swing.
Number 26.
On the pitch from Gregerson, and a big one.
So 2 outs, and now the top of the order, Brock Holt. Surprising it, watching the replay, and it was a 88-mile-an-hour pitch, and he was late. So,
and, you know,
maybe he was looking for a slide.
Yes, he was. I was thinking the same thing, because he went 3-2 because the pitch outside was a fastball, kept running, and came back with another one. And just a great pitch selection and fooling the big man.
Sogard on the run. Got it. 3 up, 3 down inning for Gregerson with an entertaining at-bat and strikeout of David Ortiz. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 4-2 A's. Here's our Toyota game summary for tonight. 2-4-1 for the Red Sox, 4-6-0 for the Athletics. Peavy and Kazmir the starters tonight, and Kazmir just gave up the home run to Pedroia. That's it. There was a season high 11 pitches, vote, a couple of RBIs, and he and John Jaso, big 2-out RBI hits. So the A's with a 4-2 lead as Edward Mejica takes over. Mejica signed to a 2-year, $9.5 million contract by the Red Sox after some decent years with the Cardinals. But Mejica has an ERA over 6. So the Red Sox are hoping he can turn it around. 27th appearance, and he faces Cespedes, Moss, and Donaldson, the heart of the order here in the 8th inning. Holt moves over to center field. Nava stays in the game at right. And we got a new catcher, J.J. Brzezinski. So the DH is gone. It's going to drop. Foul. Nobody can get it. Brzezinski was the DH. Now he's behind the plate. Otero starts to throw, so it could be a save opportunity for Dan Otero.
Doolittle, back-to-back appearances. Memory came in on Tuesday night, an inning, or it's yesterday, picked up the save.
And that's into center field, and Cespedes has another hit. Cespedes 2 for 4. And the A's now have 7 hits.
Well, you're playing a hitter to pull. You throw him a slider that's left up. Not much you can do except do this. Right back up the middle. And Cespedes does it perfectly.
So that'll bring up Moss. So Mejica gives up a base hit to Cespedes. That was lined into right ahead. Nava charges, and Nava gets it back in, and Cespedes stops at second.
When we talk about the home created by runner being held at first, no chance. And Cespedes had to avoid the line drive to avoid being hit, but not advance to third.
Third baseman.
That was a strong shot.
Donaldson.
So here's Donaldson. A's have a chance to pad their lead in the AL West. Donaldson takes a strike. The Indians beat the Angels today 5-3 in 10 innings, and you want to talk about dramatic.
Who did he hit it off of?
Frieri. But Pedrosian came in to get the save, and he could not do it. Then Frieri came in. The Angels had a 3-1 lead going to the bottom of the 10th inning, and Nick Swisher hit a grand slam home run with 2 outs. 2 outs of Frieri.
And he had struck out 3 times, I think, in the game. So that's it, yeah.
So right now the lead is 5.5. So the Indians a walk-off win over the Angels. The Angels are scoring plenty of runs. Their starting pitching's been pretty good, Ray, but their bullpen is killing. And that may be an area that they will try to address. But it is. The Angels are having a decent year, but that is a spot that has hurt them. Donaldson steps out. Tigers bounce back today and got a win over Kansas City 2-1. Sanchez over Duffy, so that's the 10-game winning streak that comes to an end for the Royals. Donaldson got a hanger foul. But the Tigers will, or the Royals will lead Detroit, still in first place by a half a game.
Remember not too long ago, because the A's had the 20-game win streak. Terrence Long played on that team. He also played on the Royals that almost had a 20-game losing streak. But it ended right here. And I think a former A's pitcher was the winning pitcher that stopped the losing streak.
Hit hard to the shortstop, and that's going to be a tailor-made double play.
Only hope there was that Drew missed it, which he's got pretty good hands and does not miss many like that.
Well, Donaldson hit it very hard. Not a whole lot you can do about that.
The A's have been very good tonight with 2-out RBI hits. And why not the last one? That Cespedes had to hold up, thinking maybe there's a line drive. Stephen Bolts wasn't a hit, but got the ground ball. Cespedes a 2-out home run. Bolt with a 2-out RBI, and Jaso with a 2-out RBI. So it's been a good night for that category.
So the lefty Craig Breslow is throwing.
So we have never say no in the right field bullpen.
Right.
We have the other guy. My name's Otero. I never say no either.
Yeah, always ready to go.
Always ready to
decide
go. Yeah, we have to figure that out, because with Breslow in town, you know, he's never say no.
Can't change it.
No, that's always going to be for Craig Breslow. Just have to figure out Dan Otero. There they are. Breslow was here. He had to never say no because he was always up. And Dan Otero, same category.
The 2 pitch is high to Lowry. Lowry walked, double, strikeout, and he scored twice. Pop-up foul. Padres beat the Mariners earlier today, 4-1. So Padres win the 2 games in San Diego over Seattle.
Well, they honored Tony Gwynn before the game yesterday or last night and won that game. That big number 19 in the grass in the outfield.
The Rangers do not play tonight, so if the A's could win, everybody else loses. The Astros lost tonight. They were shut out 5-0 in St. Petersburg. So the Astros have lost 4 straight. Swing and a miss. High fastball. So Lowry strikes out for the second time. So we're headed to the 9th inning and see if Dan Otero can get a save for 2 A's.
Scott Kazmir looking for win number 9, except for one high changeup to Mr. Pedroia. He pitched outstanding baseball, and that was a 2-run home run. But changeup, very effective tonight. Multiple changeups, and got Johnny Gomes on a 3-2. And Mike Napoli swinging a miss. So Scott Kazmir probably thinking right there about the changeup he threw to Pedroia, but you tip your hat. He hit a very good pitch, hit it for a home run, and that's the only 2 runs the Red Sox have scored tonight.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts, as Dan Otero comes in. So he's got a chance to get his first save this year. How about first career save, right?
Well, I think he's come a long way, and he realizes that. Of course, he saved, about 15 games with AAA last year before he joined the club. More in the setup role, but very happy to be in this A's bullpen. Leaders will tell you the 9th is no different than the 6th, 7th, and 8th, but I think they would be not necessarily thinking the same, because there is a difference. Doolittle pitched back-to-back games Tuesday night, yesterday afternoon, and that crew on the bench, Melvin and Kurt Young, giving him the evening off.
Lowry has it, throws on the run, and they just took Bogart for out the run.
But the great thing about Dan Otero is a ground ball pitcher, and it's just a matter of when the ground balls occur as to whether they are going to be at the infielders. In the case of the one that was just hit, wasn't hit that hard. Got it on the hands of Bogart.
So here's Pedroia, who has done the only damage for the Red Sox, a 2-run homer in the 6th inning. So Pedroia's home run was his 4th of the year. Side to even the count at 1-1. A's post-game live coming up after the ball game. I think they're still here.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're outside. I know that because they said in the pregame, let's go inside.
Let's go inside.
Normally they said, let's go out to the Coliseum. But tonight they said, let's go inside.
Always a festive crowd out there before the game and after the game. But a little work for Dan Otero yet with Pedroia here. Napoli. After Napoli would be A.J. Brzezinski. And that one is ripped down the left field line. Could be trouble, and it is. So Pedroia with a one-out double. So he's 2 for 4, and that's 5 hits for the Red Sox. Another double for Pedroia, 23 on the year.
Now batting.
Tried to go inside, left it up, and Pedroia pulled the hands in. So he had a changeup away from him for a home run and pulled the hands in to hit this fastball off to Otero on the left field line.
So here's Napoli. And Napoli, broken bat. Moss grabs it, and that's the second out. So Napoli went after the first pitch, and he's had a tough night. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and that foul out right there.
Well, the important thing there was the fact that Moss got to it quickly to catch it because it was a foul ball. And
so here's Brzezinski. Brzezinski single, ground out, ground out. So 1 for 3. The first pitch is hit towards center. Going back is Coco Crisp. He's at the wall, and he makes the catch right in front of the wall. And Brzezinski slams his helmet down, and that's how this ball game comes to an end. Oh, so close. Coco grabbed it right at the wall. So the A's grab game 1 of this 4-game series, and a good tight ball game tonight. The final score of 4-2, and Brzezinski looked like he reached for just a little bit.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Dan Otero, known to be a ground ball pitcher. So for Brzezinski to get it elevated, Coco a mini jump with the ball and able to bring it in, and a save for Otero.